Christos voskras, Voisna voskras. Christ is risen. Indeed, he is risen. And happy Easter again for those who celebrated um, the Julian calendar Easter yesterday. Happy Easter to you. And we celebrated on the new calendar Thomas Sunday. And today I want to read a scripture passage that I think is very interesting. We read it throughout this church year. Every year, I remember there's a time when we read this. And just to give a little background, um, Jesus often disagreed with the Pharisees, with people, the Jewish people, about how they were so uh, they were so concentrating on the their uh, cultural laws, their cultural traditions, and one of them, of course, was um, well, just the things they did before eating, the things they did before doing everything in life, and washing their hands. So when the disciples of Jesus ate without washing their hands, the Jews were quite taken aback and said, "Well, why would your disciples not follow traditions and clean your hands before eating?" And this is what Jesus said. Jesus called the crowd together and said, "Pay attention and try to understand what I mean. The food that you put into your mouth doesn't make you unclean and unfit to worship God. The bad words that come out of your mouth are what make you unclean." Then his disciples came over to him and asked, "Do you know that you insulted the Pharisees by what you said?" Jesus answered, "Every plant that my Father in heaven did not plant will be pulled up by the roots. Stay away from those Pharisees. They are like blind people leading other blind people, and all of them will fall into a ditch." Peter replied, "What did you mean when you talked about the things that make people unclean?" Jesus then said, "Don't any of you know what I am talking about by now? Don't you know that the food you put into your mouth goes into your stomach and then out of your body? But the words that come out of your mouth come from your heart, and they are what make you unfit to worship God. Out of your heart come evil thoughts, murder, unfaithfulness in marriage, vulgar deeds, stealing, telling lies, and insulting others. These are what make you unclean. Eating without washing your hands will not make you unfit to worship God." So it's I think this is a very interesting gospel story where we are so focused on, worldly things. We're so focused on cleanliness, on health and all those things, our physical health. And it's okay. It's okay to be healthy. It's okay to eat healthy, to do our cleanliness, to be clean, to be tidy. But all those things are not going to help us get to heaven. To be, to wash our hands and to make sure that we don't get sick, all those things is not going to get us to heaven. The only thing that's going to get us to heaven is to not sin, to not think badly about others, to not go against the commandments, to not go against God's laws for us. So if we follow our human laws like the Pharisees did, and don't think about God, that's not going to help us any. It's not going to help us at all. So we can be the most healthy, physically healthy people. We could have the most, the cleanliness and sanitation and everything else in this world. But if we don't have a clean soul, if we don't have a clean heart, we're not going to get to heaven. That's what Jesus is basically telling us. So, sure, be sanitary, be clean, be all those things, but make sure beyond all those things, the most important is to have a clean heart, to make sure that we, you know, ask for forgiveness, go to confession regularly, make sure our souls are clean. That's most important. God bless you. Have a good day.